Good morning. It is Sunday, Thanksgiving weekend, and as promised, I wanted to do a video. I was actually going to record this video, but then I decided, well, I have some time and I would rather just do it live. Makes my life so much easier. Anyway, today we're having Thanksgiving dinner with my mom's side of the family, or my mom's, with my immediate family. What am I saying? So I'll be going over to my brother's. So for now, I've finished my cooking. My husband is outside roofing. The kids are outside playing, so I have a few minutes. So grab a coffee and follow along, because you can hit replay on this later at any given time. Hey Marie, good morning. How are you? So I see a few of you. I may or may not be able to see you online. Here, let me make some noise and create some chaos. So I'll just give anybody else. Karen, hi, good morning. Benjamin has picked his masks. He says he can't decide which one of them that he actually likes. I told him he has to decide, or if he wants all four, we'll take all four. How fun is that? Okay, so I've had this, that's not why you're all here anyway. So I've had this, whatchamacallit, technique that I've been wanting to do for like a month. And as VIPs, I like to share this stuff with you first. So that is my intent and my goal for VIP, is you get the special techniques first before anybody else does. Although this is not a special technique or anything new. It has been around a while, and it's called Joseph's Coat Technique. So this is the card we're going to make. See? And you can see on there, you're probably wondering how I got that beautiful coloring there. So I do have some boo-boos on this, so I will go over that and show you some of them, but I wanted to give you a rough idea of how I made this and how it goes about. So there's a few supplies you need, so I will go over that and with you right now. So feel free to comment below, ask any questions that you may want. I've got another screen up running so I can see your comments, and then we'll go from there. So let me flip the screen. Oh, by the way, so some of the things I'm going to do in the VIPs, I'm going to use hashtags. So if you ever want to come back, play this again, then you know exactly where to find it. So I've hashtagged it as Joseph's Coat Technique, and as well as heat embossing, and then I will always hashtag a color. So the main color in this one is Night of Navy, which is one of my favorites. So I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so let's get going here. Okay, so here's my crazy messy desk. I've got a couple instructions here if you ever need them for later. But the basic pieces obviously is your card base, which I have here. And then I have two layers. I have my main layer, which we're going to work with and stamp on. And this one is your standard 4 and 5 1/4. And then this one here is just 1/8 inch bigger. So this one is 4 1/8 across by 5 3/8. And then I have another strip that we're going to use as a border here. I was going to use ribbon, but I thought, no, I'll use that instead. And then I think I'm going to add some elegant faceted gems to that as well. So those are all my pieces. So what I'll do first is I'll just take my card base and fold it in half like always. So this time I've decided to go portrait instead of landscape. So that is up and down, so it'll open this way. Sometimes I just find that more elegant and nice, but it's really your choice. You can go this way as well. So this card can go in any direction because we're just doing a stamped image, but I do really hope you like it. So the difference I have from this card and this one is I'm going to try and do this on shimmery white. So shimmery white paper is that shiny paper that we have. It is got a little bit of color through it, and it's great if you're doing watercoloring. So I'll have to show you how I do that later. So let me get this out of the way for now. So what else do you need? Oh, so you'll need 3 colors, and the 3 colors I chose was Bumblebee, Calypso Coral, Coastal Cabana for all my coloring, and then my overlay is Night of Navy. So that is the dark color that you see here. So in here you see the other 3 colors with this one here. Now put that aside. And what other special tools you obviously need is your heat gun and you will need some embossing powder. Now you will need clear, and I am going to use white for my stamping, so clear and white. And then a imagery stamp set. So one of the stamp sets I've chosen is Forever Fern. I am in love with this, and I will keep this forever because I love the fact that I have all these beautiful leaves. And what's great is they come with dies. They come with dies to cut these out, and you actually have two here, so you can cut two at the same time, which is fantastic. And these are polymer stamps, polymer cling stamps, so they actually have some really detailed looks in them that gives it that lifelike look. So, and you could use the sayings here, or you can use whatever sayings from any stamp set. Now, this is a tip that most people don't know, is down here on the bottom of every one of our stamp sets, it tells you the number of stamps we actually have in this set. So you should always have, so then you always know how many, so you know if you're missing one. It has the item number, but also here, it'll have a little note. If you don't see a note, then that means these images here are 100% to size. But here, these images are 90%, which means they had to shrink them a bit to fit them on the page, but they are bigger. So I've gone ahead and taken some gold foil, some gold cardstock, and have pre-punched a bunch of pieces. Using my heat and emboss, or sorry, my emboss and cut machine. I wanted to say Big Shot again. What I really love about our emboss and cut machine is that I didn't need to use a precision plate to cut this. It cut it perfectly. So I was super, super duper happy about that. Now with this set, with the Forever Fern set too though, it has some nice gold that actually goes with this. There's some gold foil that you can actually buy in our catalog, and it's a really nice sampling set, which I just, oh, here, specialty paper. It's specialty paper that's right here. So you could also buy these and cut them out, but it's not something I prefer to carry. I like the flexibility, so I just use the gold cardstock that we actually have. So we're gonna come back to that later. And we're gonna come back to this. So the other special tool you need are some daubers. So see my messy? So the other thing you need is sponge daubers. And these you can actually clean and reuse. It is just bigger and easier to coat with. And those are also available in our catalog, along with our heat embossing tool and as well as the embossing powders. Now you also need some sponge daubers. So for this, I said I was using 3, so I actually need Coastal Cabana, and I need Calypso Coral, and I also need Bumblebee. So those are the 3 that I actually need. So this is a really cool kit. I've been working on creating this, and when I actually have the kit ready, I'm actually going to help. I will probably sell these to you all. So at no extra charge. I don't make commission on these, but I think it's a fun tool to actually have, really handy to take with you on the go. But I'll show you how to make those and where to get them, etc., when I figure everything out. Okay, so let's get crafting here. So if you need any of the products, feel free to purchase using the hostess code there. And if you have $60 or more, then you will get your choice of an ink pad. So if you don't have any of these ink pads, now is the time to rack up. Okay, so let's start with Bumblebee. Now I'm going to tell you this is going to look completely ugly to start, but it will in the end look super pretty. Now all I'm doing is randomly putting colors everywhere. Like I say, this is going to look really ugly, and you're going to think, what is she doing? Why is she wrecking such beautiful paper? There you go, just like that. So see, I was going to actually, you can also blend this a bit if you want. It doesn't matter. So you will get some see-through depending on how thick you layer your black on there, or I mean black, your Night of Navy. So that's it, just like that. Really fancy dancy technique here. I am going to now take Coastal Cabana and do the same thing. Maybe some there, some in between here. I know. How pretty is that? Doesn't it just look like beep? poop. It looks awful. This is the part where you're like, why is she doing that and why does it look so ugly? But this is what helps create magic. So I'm just gonna go to the edge here a bit. You can go as far as you want, it doesn't really matter. There's no right and wrong in this. So there's my coastal cabana. So now I'm gonna take my third color, Calypso Coral. So as you can see, this is a little fun or not. Can you imagine your children doing this? Absolutely. I think they would have a lot of fun doing this technique. So all I'm doing is filling it in where I think I want my colors to show through. Nothing fancy. You can go right to the edge, you could color your edges, but it really won't matter that much because you're gonna cover it anyway. So there you go. So I want a bit there. So the reason why I have the 3 colors everywhere is because I want those leaves to pick up those colors. Now you can also do this with any stamp set, seriously, like any imagery stamp set, any mosaic shape, whatever. I think that would be a lot of fun. So there you have it. I'm just gonna add a bit of yellow here, push that out a bit. Maybe bring in some blue, trying to turn it to green there. Okay, how pretty is that? Pretty ugly, huh? Just like that. So simple. Okay, so while I let that dry, I'm gonna get my stamp sets out. So I'm going to use, I'm gonna use this one, and this one. So 3 of them. So let me grab that for now. I need this one. Yep, it's this one. And this, yep. Oh, wait, yeah, no, I don't want this one. Too big. Too big for now. I need this one. And then I want this fancy dancy one. It's so pretty. I love this one. Okay, so we're gonna put those on some blocks, as always. And the fun part with this, I'm just gonna use 3 separate blocks. Make my life easier. 1, 2, oops. 2, and then I'll use the big one for this one. 3. Okay. So now we're gonna need some Versamark ink. So I'm just gonna take my embossing buddy, and you wanna make sure this is completely dry because otherwise your Versa ink may not stick very well. So all I'm just doing is taking my heat embossing, my embossing buddy to make sure, 1, it's clean and good to go, and also to make sure it's dry. So what you can also do is, if it's still wet, you can just take your heat tool and run your heat tool over it, obviously, and then that makes sure your ink is completely dry. But it is, so you can see on my dry, washed hands a million times over, that it is now dry. Okay, so the embossing buddy just helps make sure that the embossing powder sticks really well and that we get that heat emboss going properly. So the thing with this is you might not be able to see it as well on camera, but when you're doing this, you will be able to see it. So I'm gonna start with my longest one, I think. So all I'm going to do now is take my heat emboss. Okay, I'm right-handed, so let's go over here. Why I'm reaching over, no clue. So I'm just gonna make sure I've got enough on there. So I'm just gonna do a quick check. Yep, okay. So I've got enough on there. And then I'm just gonna randomly put this where I think I want it. So I'm gonna stick one right there. Now you can't see that, but I can, and I can see it shining there. Now the great thing about heat embossing, or Versamark I should say as well, is the fact that it literally stays wet longer than normal ink, right? So I've got one up there. And I think I'll put one more right about. Okay, I'll come back to that one. Maybe I'll add in a third one later. I don't know yet. So, yep, I'm good there. Okay, so now I'm gonna add one here in the corner. And I'll add this one over here, I think. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I can see that there. I can see that there. And I'm going to take my third leaf. And I'm going to just make sure I got it inked properly here. Because on my last one, I didn't get it inked properly. And I could tell. I could tell that it wasn't inked properly. So I'm just going to stick that there. And let's see if I have room for another one. So I got one, I got two, it's hard to see it on, okay, so I've noticed on shimmery paper, it's really hard to see. And did I put one there? Okay, let's do a quick check. So before I stamp another one, I'm just gonna take my paper here. Now here's the tip, big tip. You must use clear embossing powder. Clear. Don't go use colored or white or anything like that. You need clear embossing powder for this one, because the clear is what's going to keep the ink from sticking to it. Okay, so I've got one, I've got two, I've got three, I've got four. Oh, it's kind of colliding there. I've got five. I could put a little guy over there. So I'm going to stick a little one to the side here. Just hide that over a bit. And I'm just going to stick one right there. Now let's get some more powder on there again. So I am using a lot of powder, but that's okay, because you want to make sure this is coated really, really good. Okay, so sorry, I'm just standing it up because I want to make sure I have everything. And I see a spot there that is missing powder right about there. Probably because my finger's in it too, so that doesn't help. And that's okay. I'll just know that that's where I'm going to put my label. And I think I'm good. I might be off a bit, but that's okay. So I'm just gonna tap off all that powder, get this in here before I spill it everywhere, because I am famous for that. So I do like to use parchment paper versus a piece of carbon paper, because I find with parchment paper that it slides better, and if I use it to stamp, then to cover my surface, then it can handle heat. So I'm just gonna stick that here, slide that over here. So another little tip to note is that, yeah, I'm recording. So another little tip to note is I like to have a little bitty paintbrush nearby. So if I have embossing powder in the wrong spot, I can easily wipe it off. So now we're gonna just use our heat tool. So I'm gonna make a bit of noise here. So we're just gonna heat this up so that our stamp is shining. Now I've not used shimmery paper before with this technique, so it shall be interesting to see what happens. I could hold this in my hand, but it's too hot. Okay, halfway done. Halfway done, and I am dressed for Thanksgiving dinner. My boys are outside. The meatballs are all done. I just have roasted veggies left. Has anybody had Thanksgiving dinner yet, or are you even doing anything? A little hard with the new restrictions. Okay, I think I'm almost done. So this is where the magic happens. Now, I probably could have put a couple more stamps on there. This one in the corner here isn't shining very good, so I'm hoping that might end up being the bottom. We shall see. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that or not. but it is pretty shiny, and you can see all the shine where it was. So the paper is a little stiffer than normal, but that's because I'm using shimmery. I've not used shimmery before. So I've never tried shimmery white, but I wanted to this time. So here's where the fun happens. So now I'm going to take, thanks Marilyn, yes, I think it's oh so pretty. It looks still pretty ugly, but it is oh so pretty. Just wait. So here's the magic, Night of Navy. So a little tip with our sponge brayers is when you roll ink on this, you want to roll ink in a steady pattern. But when you go to color, it doesn't matter. You can you can color all the way through. It's just, you don't want blobs of ink in one spot all the time. So you want to make sure you roll it always in one direction. And then when you're actually coloring with your brayer, you can roll it in multiple directions. And I like to keep a collection. I don't clean mine all the time, but you can put these in the wash, or not in the wash, just hand wash them under warm water, and the ink will all come off, and then you will get a cleaner one. So I've got quite a few of them in a baggie, and I just keep them all. Okay, so here we go. You ready? Here comes the magic. Oh, I wish you could see my face right now. Woohoo! Look at that. So what happens here, just gonna get more ink on there. What do you think? Can you see it? Can you see what's happening here? Wow. I'm just in awe every time I do this. Like, I've been wanting to share this with you, but I've been playing with it so much. Now, I've never done it with shimmery white before, so this is like, I can see a color difference in comparison to my other one. I don't know if I would actually use shimmery white again, because I'm finding, look at the colors. Let me just pull that up real quickly. Look at that color. It's kind of pastel-y. Like that blue is kind of pastel-y. Now look at mine here. This is just using plain Whisper White cardstock. It's not as strong of a color compared to plain Whisper White. I know, right, Karen? Isn't it cool? It's so nice. It is. It's absolutely nice. Like, now I said, you know what? It just doesn't matter. You can go in any direction you want here. So I literally used 3 colors. I don't think you need anything more, but you definitely can play around depending how big your, oh, I just did something bad there. How big your stamp set is, like your image. But this is like so much fun. Oh, it's so pretty. I know it's turning out so much better than my first few. I must be getting good at the technique. Maybe that's what it is. So you can coat as much of the dark color or base color as you like. What is going on here? Oh, that's from the inside. Okay. I'm like, what? I got fluff on it? Okay. So this is where you get lots of ink on your fingers. Here I got a little bit of a boo-boo. I got a splatter there. I can see it. Not as bad as my other one. I had one where I just like completely, I don't know, I was pushing too hard, I guess, on the ink pad. So I had the stamp lines all over it, which really wasn't very good. Now, I can see too, I could have put 2 more stamps here, on here, because I've got blank spaces. I have one here and I also have one here. So I could have probably put a couple more. So I would cover it as much as you can to just give it that look like you bought the paper that way. But we all know you didn't, and that you made it yourself. Voila. So there's Joseph's coat technique. And I just, oh, I love it. I love it. So how pretty is that? I think I'm going to go this way. How pretty, right? Isn't it beautiful? Who would have thought that that magic could just happen that way? So there's your magic. I'm just trying to get that dark spot. I got a little bit of a light spot there. And you can put a saying on this anywhere you want. So I've already chosen to go with Coastal Cabana as my background. I could have used Calypso Coral, or I could have used the Bumblebee, but I wanted to go blue on blue. I'm a big blue fan, because then I could technically give this away to anyone, male or female. And I've missed a few spots here, so I'm also going to emboss, and I'm probably going to put that right there. So with this one, I'm going to also emboss. I'm just going to do that real quickly, and I think I'll just use the word hello like I did last time, and just grab a little boop like that. And we're going to use Versamark ink again, but this time I'm going to use my white powder. So I use my white a lot, so that's why it's sitting in a container. It makes my life easier. And just gonna get some embossing here and just stamp the word hello close to the edge. See, make sure I'm straight, because if not, then just flip it over and do it again. There we go. See how I got a little bit there? Oops. Then I can just come in with my brush and clean that up. I noticed my H isn't very coated there, so I'm just going to come back in, clean that up, little trick. So it's really good to have these handy little brushes nearby. I used to do acrylics, and so I have quite a few brushes, which makes my life easy when I'm doing all the fancy stamping techniques and making my own DSP. So I'm just going to heat emboss that again. There we go. It's been so long since I've heat embossed. Okay, and then I'm going to create this. Now, I put some leaves on there, so I've got some here. Now, what I'm probably going to do, I could leave that as a big centerpiece right in the middle there and just overlap it. But what I thought was really cool was to just cut it. So I'm just going to take this and just cut my leaves out that I want. I want this one up there. And I kind of liked this one, which also came with it. So I think I might use this one on the edge here. So something like that. Maybe a little. Maybe I'll put it in the middle. Or not. We'll see. And then maybe one right about to there. Okay, so I can go like that. I have a few itty bitty ones that I thought were super cute that I could layer in here as well. And I think I want one more here. So all I'm doing is just taking some leaves that come with this, which is awesome. Stick that there, that one there, that one right about there. Okay, I think I kind of know what I'm doing here. So I'm just gonna get my tape roller, and this is our new Stamp and Seal Plus, which I love. And I'm just gonna run a strip here. So I can get it going first. And I'm just gonna stick this on the back. Get my leaves going here on the back, making sure I don't hang over the edge too much. Because if I'm hanging off too much, then guess what happens? That's right, I'll have to cut it. Like so, and then stick one or two in the middle. Oh, maybe I'll put this one in the middle. I'm gonna cut that off here. Cut that off, make its own little tail end there. So then, you know, what I love about our dies is you can just take any dies you have. If your stamp set comes with dies, then by all means use it. I don't think I'm hitting the glue there, or it's sticking to my finger more than it's sticking there. And maybe I just stick a little wee one over here on the end. Okay, so some assembly required. let's get this beautiful card on here. Just want to get my corners done. Oh, I love the silence of the new Stampin' Seal Plus adhesive rollers. It's so quiet. Okay. I noticed I got ink all over here. Okay. Probably won't see it. So, oops, got glue on there. All right, centered, close enough. Got that. And then this one I'm going to put right about there. Oh, I should get some thread. It would look so cool with some thread, but that's okay. We'll do that for now, but I think I'm gonna, you know, as always, Pop-Tart that. Pop-Tart that, baby. Guess what? We're almost finished. Thanks for sticking with me. I hope I'm not keeping you from making your Thanksgiving dinner preparations. I'm really loving it. I know, right? Isn't it awesome? It is so cool. So I'm going to go right about there. I think, yep. Make sure I'm somewhat straight. I think I'm straight. Put that on. And then stick this to the front of my card. And guess what? We're almost done. Okay, so Stampin' Seal, you don't need a lot of glue here. It holds just like Sukwang would. Stampin' Seal Plus does anyway. I prefer the Plus than regular. I find it just goes on better and smoother. And there's your card. How pretty is that? What do you think? And it is the coolest technique ever. I just love it. So I've got some elegant faceted gems here, and I love these because it's got that shiny glycerin, and there comes with a shimmery white, a petal pink, I guess, and then clear. So I'm gonna stick a few of these on here just to give it some punch. Oh, if I can get that here. Put one there. A little faded, a little light. And then, so what? We're probably gonna leave around 1:15. Just another minute. And then, oh, I just lost my gem as I'm sitting here talking to my hubby. He wants to make noise. So I have to speed up my video. I'm almost done. And then maybe one more up there. And I will probably stick another one down here just to give it some wow. Can I put some white on here? Maybe. Yep, I can do some white. And I'll stick, always uneven, so you want to create that uneven number look. No, don't want one there. I don't want one there because then it'll look like there. Okay, that just filled my page a bit, but I kind of like it that way. If you don't like it, feel free to do with whatever you like with that. Now, just a quick inside insert because this is Night of Navy, so I do have some cutouts. I always have some card inserts ready to go, so we'll just grab some white here. And what I'm going to do is just take one of these, clean my stamp set here, my punch here, and I'm going to use Coastal Cabana and just put this in the corner. So you can actually see, if you do not have the Forever Fern set, it is definitely a must for your everyday kit. And there. So that'll be on the inside. Isn't it pretty? I want it, please. Oh, yes. I know, right? It is just, yeah. So you can put whatever saying you like, and that'll just go on the inside of the card real quickly, because my husband's like, I need to make roof noise. I need to start hammering like crazy to get those damn shingles on. So he's like, when are you gonna be done? And of course my kids want to come back in the house. I kicked them out because they were being little brats. Okay, there we go. And done. Done like dinner. What do you think? Isn't it pretty? So I can turn that into a birthday card. I can turn that into whatever we want it to be. It can be whatever you want it. So you can stamp the inside with however you like. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Feel free to make one here at any time. So again, it is the Joseph's coat technique. And see the prettiness of that? It's so beautiful, isn't it? Anyway, so thank you for joining me. Enjoy your Thanksgiving dinner. I hope you are able to have some fun this weekend. And if not, get your craft on. And feel free to share whatever you make. And I look forward to seeing the exact same technique shared here on our VIP page. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. Happy stamping. And